Yep, it's official. 2025 is the comeback year. Now obviously, reboots, revivals, and continuations of classic shows are not exactly new. They've been a thing for decades, but they started to become more or less the norm so much that even Animaniacs had a whole ass song poking fun at reboots. But this year is particularly interesting because just this summer alone, we've gotten not one, not two, but 4 revivals dropping. First, we got Phineas and Ferb, which recently released its 5th season on Disney+, bringing the show back for the first time in a whole decade. Well, if you don't count the movie anyway. And unlike most revivals, the show has barely changed at all. It's still the same characters making the most of their summer vacation, while Perry the Platypus faces off against Dr. Doofenshmirtz. The only major difference is literally just in the first line of the theme song, which sadly I can't even play because it's copyrighted. Next, we got The Amazing World of Gumball, the beloved 2011 Cartoon Network animated series. Originally, it ended in 2018, but this past week, it got the revival treatment as well, now going under the name The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball. As someone who grew up watching Gumball as a kid, seeing the characters return for the first time in years and knowing there's more crazy shit it's just great to see, in my opinion. And much like with Phineas and Ferb, there really isn't much of a difference other than the changes in Gumball, Darwin, and Anais' voices, for obvious reasons. Next, we got Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus, a revival of the beloved 2006 Disney Junior TV series of the same name. Minus the plus, of course. And after watching the first 10 episodes on Disney+, I can proudly say it actually does feel like the original Clubhouse series. From the interactive nature, to the same music, to the same format. Hell, they use the same exact songs from They Might Be Giants that came from the original. Which, again, I can't play for copyright reasons. It's a sad world we live in. But unlike the other two shows, the only major difference in Clubhouse Plus is the obvious change in animation quality. And by that I mean, it's 1,000 times better. Like seriously, absolute eye candy in every single frame. Except that frame. We don't talk about it. And last but simply not least, the upcoming 14th season of King of the Hill, bringing the beloved Arlen game back for the first time in 15 years after the original series ended in 2010. But unlike Phineas and Ferb, Gumball, and Clubhouse Plus, there's a lot more noticeable differences. Mainly, for one thing, the use of rigged animation as opposed to hand-drawn animation, which isn't really that surprising, to be honest. But the biggest change of all is the fact that the show takes place in the future. And by the future, I mean literally today. So literally everyone in the show has aged in some shape or form. Except for Lady Bird. I'm pretty sure she's already dead. R.I.P. Now, at the time of recording this video, the King of the Hill revival hasn't dropped yet, but from what I've seen so far in the clips that have been shown, like sneak previews and trailers, it actually feels the same as the original. Like, I'm not even kidding. I thought they were gonna screw it up, but no, they didn't. And considering how big of a King of the Hill fan I am, it just makes me happy to see the characters return. Like, it really does. While I do believe more originality in animated shows in this day and age is very necessary, I think that the way people perceive reboots and revivals has changed in the last few years. I mean, you got shows like Teen Titans Go and the Powerpuff Girls, from 2016, that give people a negative perception of reboots because of how shit they've been. But then DuckTales came along and changed the story, and from then on you've got reboots or revivals that may or may not be as good as the original, but they still honor the original in some shape or form. And given the positive reception that these 4 revivals have already received, it's safe to say things are looking pretty bright.